Coming up on AZ Sportsbox Weekly. The Colorado Buffaloes storm into Tempe and upset the Sun Devils after a hard-fought battle under the Saturday Night Lights. Plus, the Diamondbacks' postseason hopes come to an end against a familiar foe as Paul Goldschmidt returns to Chase Field.
Everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of AZ Sportsbox Weekly. I'm Nicholas Hodell, and alongside me is Jude Binkley. We have a lot to get to, so let's get straight into our top stories. Having a ranking next to your name in college football provides a target on your back. The Arizona State Sun Devils witnessed that firsthand in their first Pac-12 conference game of the season on Saturday against the Colorado Buffaloes inside the friendly confines of Sun Devil Stadium. We go now to the first quarter. Here still in a scoreless game, Colorado going to find a way to punch it in for the first score of the game in about 5 minutes of work to get things going and make it a 7-0 game early on. Colorado coach is loving it. We go now later into the first quarter. Steven Montez, the quarterback from the Buffaloes, going to scramble around, going to find senior Tony Brown. And that is going to be a touchdown, 29 yards, and a 14-0 lead for Colorado. Moving out into the second quarter, Arizona State with 3rd and 8. Jaden Daniels going to the middle, going to find Brandon Ayuk, and he has daylight. 53 yards for a Sun Devil touchdown, one of his 9 receptions in the game for 122 yards. Now 14 all, Colorado with 1st and 10 here. It's going to be, again, Montez to Brown for a second touchdown between the pair, and Colorado regains the lead. Going now into the third quarter in a 2nd and goal situation from the 20. It is, guess who? It's that man again. It's Tony Brown, his 3rd receiving touchdown, and Colorado gets the lead again. Going into the fourth quarter now, 31-24. Daniels, a dart, finds its bullseye. It's a tie game there, as it's a beautiful pass to Frank Darby. Now later on, now 2 minutes left. It's a good field goal there for Colorado's James Stefano. Put him up 34-31. That's the last score of the game. Colorado 34, Arizona State 31.
Hi there, I'm Henry Stein from AZ Sportsbox, joined by number 99, Sammy from Colorado. How was it? You just beat a ranked opponent. It was your first time being a ranked opponent this year. Your second time being a ranked opponent this year. How was it? How did it feel?
It's amazing. It's surreal. The scene, this stadium, and just the experience, and just the atmosphere here is amazing. And just having my team come out with just especially good game that Arizona played, this tight game coming down to a field goal. And that's a game of inches. It all matters, a game of inches, and that's what our coaches preach. And just truly blessed to be here and to get the win. And it feels good to go home and get the win on the way. And I'm just truly blessed.
So the defense led up over 350 yards. There were 31 points scored. What did it take for the offense to come up and make this game happen for you guys?
It's all about executing the little things. And for defense, we have to execute. We got to do better. We can't let up that many points. We just got to do our job and come back next week and just work on our craft. And so the offense props to them to keep moving the field and getting the first downs and just getting the defense tired and making scores and playing and just never giving up. And, everything we did is all thanks to Coach Suck and all that. But it's just truly thankful to our offense, coming out making big plays and just scoring. And that's what you love to see as a defensive lineman or defensive player. Our offense moving the ball on the defense and just winning. So.
Thank you very much. Here on Sun Devil Stadium, this is Henry Steiner from AZ Sportsbox.
Full recap from Sun Devil Stadium.
All right, I'm Henry Steiner here from AZ Sportsbox. We are here in the aftermath of the Arizona State versus Colorado Buffaloes game. Caleb, Arizona State loss was the first loss on the season. They were the 24th ranked team. They lost 34-31 in basically a shootout. What were your takeaways from this game?
Well, I mean, Colorado, this is the first Pac-12 game of the season, but I'm not really shocked that they lost tonight. It's not really a shock that ASU has been able to handle an upset like this. Basketball's been the same way with KU and then Princeton the next game, and then Michigan State last year for the football team when they went on to lose against San Diego State. So apparently there's been a reoccurring theme for ASU football and basketball that they always end up becoming the team upset after pulling off an upset the previous week. So I'm not really shocked that they lost tonight, but still, this loss is unacceptable, especially a bad start for the Pac-12 season. I really hope they can recover because they, like Herm said, they have to. It's going to hurt tonight, it's going to hurt tomorrow, but they got to get over this and get ready for next week.
So ASU's defense in the past has been known as being one of the most stout units, but in this game they gave up over 400 yards and 34 points. What do you think happened this game versus any other games that they've had this year?
I mean, I think it just came down to all the deep passes Colorado was able to complete. I mean, there was a questionable call with the player bobbling the football in the end zone, but still, that was a fair catch. The fact that ASU let that catch in was completely unacceptable by the defense. Just a lot of wide open passes, and the defense was probably the weak link of tonight.
How much of this game and the loss do you attribute to the youth of this team and just how inexperienced they are? This was many of these players' first time being ranked. How much of this loss do you think was attributed to that inexperience?
I mean, this is a pretty young team. I think, it is a disappointing loss, but the fact that they've gotten this far, this is only their first loss, it definitely doesn't make it that bad. But still, they got a lot of rebuilding to do, and who knows? I mean, not only is this loss not good for ASU, but it's also not good for the Pac-12. The future of the Pac-12 is not looking good so far. But Cal is pretty much going to probably take over the mantle of being the top team right now.
You feel me? Come inside out. You feel me? I'm always here.
What would you say is ASU's main takeaway and thing that they can improve on from this game?
Like I said, defense is going to be the weak link. Daniels is the interception, and also Sendejas. I mean, he had more than a 45-yard kick, and he was able to that shouldn't be a problem for him. So the fact that he missed that kick, I don't know. I think it was just a rough game. I mean, just forget about it and play like they did against Michigan State. So,
here from Sun Devil Field in Tempe, Arizona, this is Henry Steiner and Caleb Bushy from AZ Sportsbox.
Thanks, Henry and Caleb. Now from college football to the NFL, the Kyler Murray era has gotten off to a rocky start, but with Cam Newton injured, the Arizona Cardinals had a chance to steal one from the Carolina Panthers. In Newton's absence, the Panthers are being led by quarterback Kyle Allen, an alum of Desert Mountain High School right here in Scottsdale. Let's get on to those highlights. In the first quarter, Kyler Murray drops back, is able to get a screen pass off to Larry Fitzgerald, who bodies his way into the end zone to put the Cardinals on the board first. In the opening of the second quarter, Kyle Allen gets pressured, but is able to find Curtis Samuel all alone in the back of the end zone to tie the game up at 7. Less than a minute left in the first half, Kyle Allen finds DJ Moore over the middle, taking it 52 yards to the house. His only catch of the game, but he's making it worth it. Panthers lead 14-10 at the half. In the third now, Cardinals back in the red zone where Kyler Murray has all the time in the world, pitches it to David Johnson, who breaks 3 tackles and dives into the end zone. Christian McCaffrey finds a hole up the middle and takes off, burns the safety, and it's arrivederci. Saquon Barkley, who? Ezekiel Elliott, who? 76 yards for CMC and 6 points for the Panthers. Taking it to the fourth quarter now to seal the game, Kyle Allen able to find Greg Olsen for his second touchdown of the day. By the way, Kyle Allen goes 19 for 26 with 4 touchdowns in his second start of the season. Panthers also able to top it off with another field goal. Kyler Murray's trying some late game heroics, drops back 3rd and 16. He's looking around, he's scrambling, and isn't able to get it off. He gets sacked. That's the game, folks. 38-20, Panthers win, and the Arizona Cardinals fall to 0-2-1 under Cliff Kingsbury.
The Phoenix Suns will kick off the preseason at Talking Stick Resort Arena in less than 2 weeks when the Minnesota Timberwolves come to Phoenix. I'm now joined by Phoenix Suns analyst Parker Gray. Parker?
Thanks, Nick. So this season, the Suns are looking a little bit different after trading away a few of their key players. For example, TJ Warren is gone now, one of their key scorers on the team. And now they have Ricky Rubio from the Utah Jazz. They also acquired Dario Saric and Aaron Baines. They also got Ty Jerome in the draft along with Cameron Johnson, who was drafted at 11th overall. People were surprised to see Cameron Johnson drafted that high, as he was projected to be somewhere in the last few picks of the first round. He does bring a talented three-point shot to the team, however, and he will be able to bring that ability to help the team in that area. Nick, what do you think about the team? Where do you think they're going to be able to go this season?
I think it's going to be very tough for them in the Western Conference. But the off-season acquisitions that you mentioned, which one do you think is going to have the biggest impact this season for the Suns?
Yeah, so I think Ricky Rubio will have a really big impact for the Suns. They really need someone with that veteran leadership. He's been in the league for 8 years now, most out of anyone on the team. Some people may say that he's past his prime. However, he was able to win the FIBA World Cup this summer and was also crowned MVP. So I believe he's going to be able to bring a lot to this team with his ability to score and his ability to pass. So I think it's going to be a big help.
So Rubio should really have one of the bigger players right next to Devin Booker and Ayton.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
All right. So one more thing for you before you go. Where do you think the team's going to finish this season?
Yeah, so I would like to hope that they are going to be in the playoff hunt, but at this point, I can't see them making it that close. The West Conference is stacked, to say the least. There's the Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi. There's the Lakers with LeBron and AD. There's just too many to name. The Golden State Warriors as well. I think that there's too many talented teams, duos, trios, to keep them out of the playoffs. I can't see them getting anywhere more than 25 to 30 wins, which at this point won't be enough to get them into the playoffs. I'd say give them a few more years once their young players get some more experience and mold together as a team, but this year I don't think it'll be the one for them. All
right, a lot of competition this year. Thanks for that, Parker. And now we go to Haley for what to watch for this weekend.
Thanks, Nick. This week, Arizona sports are heating up, starting early on Friday at 2 when ASU women's soccer takes on Utah in Tempe. Make sure to look out for the Devils' lead goal scorer, Nicole Douglas, who after scoring a goal last game, now has 8. Following that, at 7:30, ASU football takes on the Golden Bears of Cal. Coming off a close loss 34-31 against Colorado, ASU will look to bounce back, but it won't be easy. Cal heads into this one at 4-0 with a defensive powerhouse senior linebacker, Evan Weaver. He had 22 tackles in Cal's last game against Ole Miss. They also have a quarterback, Gabers, who had a career high in passing yards, touchdowns, and completions. Next game, he will be looking to break those records against ASU. At 6:40, the DBacks take on the San Diego Padres at Chase Field. Although both teams are out of the postseason race, this is still a division rivalry that both teams are desperate to win. It will also be the return of Tajon Walker from the IL. On Saturday at 6:30, Phoenix Rising faces off against New Mexico United in Scottsdale, where they look to continue their outstanding form. Although the team is coming off a loss, they won for 20 games straight. Facing off against the 8th place New Mexico team could give them the momentum they need to win the USL. Also on Saturday, the Coyotes play their final preseason game against the Anaheim Ducks in Anaheim. This game will be a good look at what to expect from the Coyotes in their first game, as it also happens to be against the Ducks. On Sunday, the Sun Devils take on the Bruins in a volleyball match at 12 in California. It will be the first Pac-12 match for the Bruins and the second for the Devils after facing their bitter rivals, U of A, on Thursday. Finally, rounding off the weekends, the Cards play the Seahawks Sunday at 1:05 in Glendale. After a tough game against the Panthers, Kyler Murray and the Cards will try to find their first win. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Haley. The MLB regular season comes to an end this Sunday, and with these final games come the all-important playoff races. In the American League, the Astros, Yankees, and Twins have all locked up their divisions, while the Athletics and Rays sit in the wild card spots. The only team that can challenge them are the Cleveland Indians, who currently sit a game and a half back. In the National League, we know who our playoff teams are, but our division clinchers in the NL are the Dodgers and Braves, while the Nationals await whoever loses the battle for the NL Central, which is between the Cardinals and the Yelich-less Brewers. The Cardinals currently lead that contest by a game. Where do the Diamondbacks sit? Well, they were eliminated on Monday in a 9-7 loss to the Cardinals in Goldschmidt's return to the desert. But no matter how these final two races shape up, be prepared for a heated month of October baseball.
In major soccer news, the Phoenix Rising had their impressive winning streak stopped at 20 games in this past Saturday's 2-1 loss against Fresno FC. The Rising had a chance to pick up a point in stoppage time of a handball and a subsequent yellow card against Fresno's Michael Daly. However, Solomon Asante could not add to his goal total as his attempt from 12 yards out went off the right post. The loss is the first loss for Phoenix since their U.S. Open Cup loss against Mexico United in penalties back on May 15th, and their first loss in the USL Championship since a May 4th encounter with Orange County SC. The Rising will be on the road on Saturday against Mexico United at 6:30 Arizona time.
The latest chapter of the Antonio Brown saga has come to a close. After being released by the Oakland Raiders earlier this month, the prolific wide receiver has now been cut by the New England Patriots after just an 11-day tenure. This decision comes after Brown was faced with a civil lawsuit accusing him of multiple instances of sexual assault. Brown announced his retirement from the NFL after being pushed away from the third team in 7 months. Although it is still unknown if he plans to compete in any other football leagues. As for now, don't expect the Cardinals or any other organization to give him a call. If Belichick couldn't fix his attitude problems, then it's hard to believe anyone can. Burning bridges with two of the most player-friendly coaches in Mike Tomlin and John Gruden doesn't help his case either. Brown's behavior has also voided his signing bonus and guaranteed money, leaving him with just one paycheck from his game against the Dolphins. Nike has also dropped his sponsorship due to threatening texts he sent to his accuser. So what's AB got going on in the meantime? Well, he has re-enrolled in school at Central Michigan University and is possibly awaiting a call from Vince McMahon.
When the lights come on in the Pac-12 Conference, nearly every game becomes unpredictable. The first week of conference games in the 2019 season was no different. 3 out of 4 ranked teams playing another Pac-12 opponent lost their game last week. Utah fell to USC at the Coliseum in a game that featured USC's third-string quarterback, Matt Fink. Arizona State fell in a close game at home against Colorado. Then there was the late-night main event. UCLA came into Pullman, Washington, having not won a single non-conference game. The Bruins were down by 32 points in the second half before they proceeded to defeat Washington State 67-63. In the process, the game broke the Pac-12 record for the most combined points in a single game with 130. That broke the record that was previously held from California's 127-0 beatdown of St. Mary's way back in 1920. This week's lineup of games serves to entertain once again, including a top 25 showdown between USC and Washington in the middle of the day. This week's After Dark action sees 2 games with plenty of potential. Both Utah and Washington State want revenge from their upsets, and they'll have to play each other to earn a bounce-back win. UCLA goes to Tucson after their incredible heroics to play the Arizona Wildcats. Now it's on to top plays for the week. Here we go with number 3 in Pittsburgh, number 15 UCF at Pitt with less than a minute remaining. The Panthers are going to pull out a trick play. Look at this. It's a Philly special with a side of Hines catch-up. It gives UCF their first regular season loss since 2016.
And up number 2, we've got a play from AAC After Dark. Tied up at 31, Tulane's got the ball from their own 48 with just 1 play left. Justin McMillan drops back and finds Jalen McCleskey between 3 defenders and is able to beat them and take it to the house for a walk-off win over the Houston Cougars.
And at number 1, we're going to take it back home. The Cardinals and the Diamondbacks went to 19 innings, a nearly 7-hour marathon that was capped up by this walk-off El Dramo Farga single. And he decided to call a game, but everyone gets some sleep after 19 innings, Diamondbacks 3, Cardinals 2. And that will do it for this edition of AC Sports Box Weekly. For Jude Binkley, I'm Nicholas Hodell. Enjoy the week ahead.